They can engage their different stakeholders, means they can host the workshop for their warehouse staff, to provide them, to make them understand of what is the benefit of IoT sensors. They will share the success stories from different warehouses. Now, what will be the outcome of doing all of this stuff? Maybe their operational efficiency will be increased by 30%. They will reduce the delivery times. They can gain the full support from their employees and stakeholders. So this is how, if you do all of these four steps, this is how, what will be the outcome of doing that in digital transformation. So if you have any question till now, let me know. Okay, good. Now the second thing that we have to discuss is that we have to analyze how a range of risks are associated with the digital transformation can be mitigated. So we are going to discuss this thing here. So the first is the technological risk. Means the risk can be the system failure. Means when the new system may not integrated well with the existing system. Maybe you merged your old system with the new system. So what happened, that new system maybe not suits with your existing system. So what will happen, it will lead to the downtime, or there can be a performance issue. Then obsolescence, means the technology may implement quickly but becomes outdated due to the rapid advancement of new technology. The previous technology that you just implemented maybe become outdated. Then the incompatibility, means your new system and your legacy system are not compatible for each other. So that's why it will disturb your workflow. So this is how, these are the different risks. Now, how you can mitigate, how you can perform the mitigation. Here, the first thing you can do is the through testing. Means before implementing, you have to test that system. Before using it, first you have to test whether my old system is compatible with the new system. Like, let's suppose if we take a common example here, before installing Windows 11, in Windows 10, we have a feature in their recent updates, means before, I think it's last year or in 2022, they have launched a feature. There was an update, like you can check whether your system is compatible for Windows 11 or not before installing it. Like, you can check their processor requirement, you can check the storage requirement, and if your system is compatible, that application will shows, like, I think that application name was the PC Help, something like that. So there was an option that to check the compatibility, whether your system is compatible for Windows 11 or not. So that later you don't need to face any difficulty. If your system is compatible, means it will shows that you have the processor that is required, you have the space that is required, everything. You have the storage that is required to install Windows 11, and in that case you can install. So this is how you can do here. You can do first testing before implement your new system, whether my old system can be compatible with my new system or not. Then the scalable solutions, means you can invest in the technologies that can adapt to future needs, means that is scalable. Scalability means, for example, if your system grows, like if we take an example of Google Cloud here, Google Drive or Google Stories, uh, first they allot you 15 GBs for free. If you want to store more data, let's suppose your requirement is 5 GBs. So you can pay them, and according to your need, you get that space. So that is the scalability of their system. They didn't say that only 15 GB is available, that is limited. You cannot expand that allotted space. You are limited to that 15 GB. No, you can get as much space as you want. just by paying them. So that is the meaning of scalability. So whenever you purchase any new system, you have to ensure that that is scalable. Maybe in future, your needs are changed, and then according to your need, that system can be changed. Then your vendor support is very important. Means you have to ensure that you have a complete support of your vendors who provide you long-term supports and update. Means you have to engage with those vendors who are providing you solution like for long term. If you want some update from them, they are there for you to update that system. Then after that, we have example here, like let's suppose if it's a manufacturing firm and they want to uh, change their system. So first what they will do, maybe there can be a compatibility issue with their legacy machine. So to do that, first they will test the system before deploying the original system. Now we have operational risk here, like the disruption to business processes. Means when you change your system, there will be a change in workflow. Means in start, there can be problem initially to maybe the employees have the difficulty to operate that system. So initially there will be the decrease in the efficiency of the new system. There can be data mismanagement. Maybe the experts that you have hired or the computer operators poorly handle the data during the data migration. Means maybe they made duplicate copies of the data. Then what will happen? It will lead to inaccuracy or the loss of that data. Then the dependency on technology means you have completely relied on this new system. You are over reliance on that new system. Means you are not doing any work manually by yourself. You are completely rely on that new system. Now what will happen? It will create new vulnerabilities if they will fail. If the system fails to meet your expectations, then it might happen that there will be created different vulnerabilities and the system may fails to fulfill your expectation. Now, what is the solution here? You will gradually implement them. Means you will roll out changes incrementally to allow time for adjustments. Means not at once, step by step, you will make adjustments. So it will minimize the disruption of work. Then data governance framework. To ensure that the data is accurate and consistent, you can establish a clear policy for data handling. Is if someone is handling the data, you have to ensure that the data is already cleaned, the data is valid. You might set different strict policies for that employees that if they didn't handle the data properly, maybe they will. How we can deal with that? After operational risk, we have cybersecurity risk. Risk can be like it can be increase in the attack surface. Means when you have implemented new technologies or connected different system, then you are providing more entry points for the attackers. Maybe new technologies may contains multiple vulnerabilities, so this might give different entry points for the attackers to attack your system. And other cybersecurity risk can be the data breach. Means the sensitive customer information or your organizational data can be exposed because you are using a digital system. Now, in this era, data breach is most common, mostly very common. Even your smaller mistake can lead to data breach. So, when you are using or moving towards your digital technologies, data breach is most of the commonly issue that can arise. Then compliance violation. Maybe you fail to meet the data protection laws. So it may result in penalties. Means you have to pay a heavy amount in return of that data breach. Now, what is the mitigation here? You can do proactive security measures. Means you have to ensure that the cybersecurity experts that you have hired design and test the defense, like the firewalls, their encryptions, what they have implemented, their multi-factor authentication. You have to train your employees. Means you have to train your staff in such a way that they will recognize the phishing attempts and they must follow your secure data practice. Then let's suppose if it's a retail chain, they have upgraded their cloud-based POS system, means the point of sale system. They have implemented data encryption. They have checked their end-to endpoint protection to safeguard their transaction. They give their staff training on secure login practice to prevent the credential theft. So this is how you can mitigate this cybersecurity risk. Then we have the financial risk, means the high initial cost, means the system that you want to implement is very high in cost. Then there will be an uncertain return on investment. Maybe there due to delays or inefficiencies during your implementation, it may reduce your financial benefits. So your cost overrun, maybe when you're implemented the system, you have to add other cost for like the cost for training, maybe there will be the additional cost for some sort of additional software or some sort of hardware. So it may result in cost overrun. So these are the risks, the financial risk that can occur. How you can mitigate that risk? The first thing is the detailed budgeting. Means you create a detailed or comprehensive budget that include what will be my initial cost, what will be my ongoing expenses, how much funding I need for that. You can do a return on investment analysis here. Means you will evaluate what is the return of investment. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the formula that you can use to calculate your return on investment. So you can use that. Then vendor negotiation means to set a flexible price. You can negotiate with your vendors that are going to provide you the technology. Means if it's a logistic company, they want to implement a AI-based route optimization tool for conducting a cost-benefit analysis. So what they will do, they will demonstrate a 20% fuel cost first. They will justify their investment first for the full-scale adoption. So this is how the bigger organization do. They do the detailed budgeting before moving towards the next. Then we have some human related risk. We have already discussed like the resistance to change, means maybe there will be a fear of job displacement. There can be a skill gap. Maybe this some technical staff might have that skill, but the non-technical staff have not that skill. Then there will be the low engagement. Maybe some employees are not interested with your technology. So due to that, the employees didn't engage with that, with your new project, for the digital project. Then what is the mitigation for that? You must involve your employees. Like you have to tell them we are going to transform our processes. There will be some issues. So if you have any concern, we can discuss that. You can upskill their program, means you can provide the targeted training to bridge that skill gap, and you can build them confidence. Like if it's we have an insurance company, they want to roll out a AI assistant underwriting tool to reassure the staff that the tool will enhance their productivity rather than to replace them. You might conduct a training session for them to help them to understand what is that system, how it will reduce the now in this way it will reduce the resistance and also engage the involvement of your employees. Then we have different stakeholder risk, like lack of buy-ins. Means maybe your key stakeholders, your clients didn't, or your investors may not support your system. Maybe there are misaligned expectation. Maybe your stakeholders have some unrealistic expectation. For example, if your investors might said that after implementing this system, maybe our profit will be increased to 30% or 40%. So such kind of unrealistic expectation they might set with your new system. Then fragmented communication means poor coordination, means you have not a good coordination among different departments. So how you can overcome that? You can set the clear objective that, for example, if you're implementing a automative writing tool or system, you will just tell them that this system will do this and this will be the benefit of this. You will collaborate with other department, different online, using different online collaborative tool to ensure that there will be consistent communication and coordination. Now, the third thing that we have to discuss today is how you will evaluate, how we can identify and mitigate the risk, so that after that we can increase the likelihood of the success in digital transformation. So it might include multiple processes. So why it is important to identify the risk? If you identify the risk earlier, then you can make better decision. Means, for example, if you know about the risk of the cost is going to be overburdened, you identify the risk about this technology is not going to work, so you can better make decision what I have to do next. And you can also manage your cost in this way. Now, you know that I don't have such that much capital to implement that system. You can manage your cost is easily. Like if it's a retail company who transition to an e-commerce platform, they can identify the risk that what will be the potential downtime. There can be a downtime or server can be down in peak hours or in the holiday season. There can be a data breach, there can be staff skill gap. So if they identify all of these risks in advance, it will be better for them. They can better make do planning. They can have awareness in order to increase their benefit. They can do different steps. Now, what is the role of risk mitigation here? It will enhance your operational stability. Means mitigation means if you take some mitigation measures that we have discussed previously, it will minimize the impact of risk. It will ensure that your business is going to continue during that transformation because you have already take some measures. It will increase your employees' buy-in. Means if you address their concerns such as their job security or whether the training that is needed, it will reduce their resistance. Then it will give you timely achievement. Like if a company, if we take an example here, is implementing a cloud-based HR management system. So now it's a cloud-based HR management system. Now the employees that are working in HR department may have concerns about their job displacement. So there can be a resistance from the employees. Maybe they have concerns about the data privacy and multiple things. Now you conduct a mitigation. In that mitigation, you can conduct different workshops to educate your employees on their system security features. You can address their concerns early so that it will be a smooth adoption of the process. Now, how the risk identification and mitigation can work together to ensure this success. Now, first, you will realize the organizational readiness. Means here you will uh, means you have to identify, if you early identify that risk and you know that how I have to mitigate that risk, you can increase your workflow. You can educate your staff. You can check your technical infrastructure. For example, if it's a logistic company, they identify that there is a lack of data integration in the supply chain. Then before implementing their AI-based route, what they will do, they will optimize the system first. They will first invest in their data cleaning, their system integration, and after that, it will give them accurate results. Now, if you identify your risk and mitigate also them at the same time, then you can build a stakeholder confidence. Means if you identify the risks that my budget is going to overrun in future of there or there is some operational disruption, then what you will do, you can take mitigate strategies like you can do a detailed project plans. You can provide different fundings so in order to build your customer trust. Like if it's a healthcare provider, they want to upgrade its patient management system, you will ensure that the buy-in by involving different staff members, their patient identification risk. So this is how the mitigation and risk identification, if they are working together, is beneficial for you. Now, what will be the outcome here? It will reduce your downtime by 20% if these two terms work together, and it will increase your production efficiency by 30%. Your employees will embrace the new technologies because you have communicate with them properly. There will be no security incident because you have hired the best cybersecurity specialist. You have trained them what to do and how to do. So this is how, when you are moving towards the digital transformation, these are the different risks that can be occurred and how you can overcome them. So if you have any question, let me know.